What's up YouTube, Jeff back again from DopeTechDaily.com. Today I'm continuing my coverage of the Samsung One UI Android Pie beta. Today I'm going to get into talking about the official beta that just dropped yesterday for the Galaxy S9, the S9 Plus. Unfortunately, the Galaxy Note 9 is not a part of that, but everything is very similar to the Galaxy Note 9 beta, the leaked one that I've been covering. I've made tons of videos about that, so if you want to check that out, I'll drop all the links below. I'm going to cover some of the changes in the stable beta today. There's the build number right there. It is ending in ZRK9. If you want to grab this version of the beta and you live in the US or Korea, you can grab the Samsung Members or Samsung Plus app and head over there and sign up, which is what I did. All right, so today we're going to take a look at some of the new features. Again, all of the sort of things like the icons, the settings menu, all of these things I've talked about in my previous videos. They're completely unchanged in this latest stable version of the beta for the Galaxy S9 and the S9 Plus. So a couple of things that have changed are, one, when it comes to the gestures, they now have haptic feedback. So now when you do your gestures, you get a little bit of vibration feedback when you do the recents, and also when you do the back button there, and when you go home as well. Another thing that people have asked me about many times is how Samsung Pay is going to work with the new gestures, because you swipe up from the middle to go home. It actually is a little annoying, so you can see now they've kind of made the Samsung Pay a little bit more narrow at the bottom. That's the little thing you swipe up. If you swipe up, you'll get into your Samsung Pay cards that are right there. Now, I've noticed that whenever you're inside the Samsung Pay app, you can't use gestures. You can see here, because now you have the nav buttons there. I don't know if that's a bug or on purpose, just so that it's not easy to accidentally trigger the navigation. But one thing I will say is if you go into your app drawer quite a bit, like I do, so you swipe up to go in the app drawer, and then you have a habit of also using the home gesture, what's going to happen is you're going to end up hitting the Samsung Pay icon down there, and it's going to swipe up and go into Samsung Pay instead of taking you home. The next thing I want to mention is the themes in the stable beta. I don't have the option to use themes, so when I originally installed this, I actually had a theme that was already installed. It stayed in here, but I had to do a factory reset later. If you install the theme, basically what happens is not everything gets themed appropriately, and it looks like a huge mess. If you install a dark theme and you go into the settings, not everything is in sort of themed properly. It's not all dark theme, which you can actually get now natively in this new version. You can install a dark theme from the settings menu itself. But I can't install any icon packs or anything like that. I'm sure more support for that will be coming eventually, but the theme support is just not there in this version. Also talking about GoodLock 2018, which I've talked about quite a bit. When I made the last video, GoodLock actually got an update as soon as I dropped the video. It was just really poor timing. So now there are some new apps that you can actually get within GoodLock, like clock faces, routines. Some of these apps work, some of them don't. Things like QuickStar, etc. don't work at all on the Android Pie build because the theming here with the actual quick settings just doesn't work. You can't color these yet. It won't actually fully apply any of those sorts of themes. Pretty much the only thing you can do right now to theme the quick settings is, as I said before, you can go into display and you can turn on night mode. Night mode looks really good now on the stable beta. Everything's got the black on gray cards. Even if you go into the home settings, I had mentioned before the home settings actually had black on white text, which look a little out of place. They actually fixed that there. Also in the camera settings, they've fixed that as well. One thing I will say is you guys can actually see right here is sometimes I have hard time swiping to go home. You can see here the home gesture not working at all. So I actually have to use the back button again. That's a little bit of a bug that I've noticed on the stable version. Could just be if you have the Samsung Pay enabled down there, but I have noticed it quite a bit. Inside the camera, they've also themed the settings menu in here as well. So this also had white cards in one of the previous versions that I looked at. All themed with black on gray and looks pretty good in my opinion. One place where the cards don't look that great in my opinion is in Bixby Home. Instead of having the black on gray, they've got black on sort of white. It's a really stark contrast. I'm not a huge fan of the look. Personally, I'd like everything to be black on gray, consistent with the settings, so hopefully Samsung will change that as we move into the next couple versions of the beta. Another cool feature on the stable beta that I've noticed that actually could have been in the Note 9 version, I just haven't noticed it before, is if you can use the keyboard in apps, it actually has an adaptive theme. If I go into Gmail, you'll notice that now the keyboard has sort of a light look to it because Gmail has a lot of white in the app. If I go to another app like Solid Explorer where I have this dark theme, you'll notice now the keyboard changes to having the dark keys right there. Very nice, I think. Samsung's doing a good job of trying to keep the interface looking consistent throughout, and overall they're doing a pretty good job. Just those few little issues that I've noticed so far, again, with the gestures and Samsung Pay getting in the way, and then also Bixby just not being fully themed like everything else is. I'd like to see a few of those things changed in the upcoming beta. Battery life has been okay. Again, it's a beta, so I'm not going to compare that too hard. Battery life's been maybe a little bit below where I got with the Galaxy S9 Plus before, maybe 4 to 4.5 hours screen on time. Haven't really noticed any other major bugs. Everything else works. I use Android Auto. I use a Galaxy Watch with this. Everything else is working fine. Mainly, the issues are those couple bugs that I mentioned earlier. If you can live with those, then you could probably go ahead and install this beta and you'd be perfectly fine using it. So I do think that if you're going to use the gestures, you might get a little frustrated. So you might try going with the navigation buttons if you get annoyed with those, if you want to use the beta. Hopefully the gestures will get ironed out some more in the next video. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it. That's my look at the Android Pie One UI stable release for the Galaxy S9 Plus. Not a lot of huge changes from the leaked ones I've covered so far, but I hope you guys enjoy the continuous updates. If you have any comments or if you have any questions, drop them below. I'll be happy to answer those. Find me at dopetechdaily.com, Google+, Instagram, and Twitter. The links in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.